Wednesday, and for some of you, your first day back to school, which means you're halfway through the entire school year, which means before you know it, it's going to be summer, and you're going to be on summer vacation. It's going to be so exciting. But anyways, it's Wednesday. It's time for your devotional, and we're going to read out of Galatians. If you've never read Galatians, it's a great book of the Bible. I encourage you to read it. This week, there's only 6 chapters in Galatians, so you could read it this week or sometime. It's awesome. Okay. Galatians 5, verse 1. It says, "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery." Wow, I love that verse. It tells us that we are free. It's by Christ, through Christ we're free. He set us free. Yay, let's celebrate. We're free. Woohoo! But it also tells us to stand firm and don't let ourselves go back into that burden and carry that burden of slavery. You know, sometimes, a lot of times actually, we can let ourselves go back into the burden that we had once before we were saved. You know, when we're saved, we are cleansed from sin. We don't have to worry about the things that used to be or our past, because God has delivered us and He set us free and He's forgotten it. The Bible tells us that He throws our past sins into the sea of forgetfulness. He doesn't remember them. He doesn't bring them back up to haunt us. He doesn't bring them back up to remind us, oh, you need to be careful because you did this, and remember when you did this? No, He doesn't do that. He forgets about it. He completely forgives us. That's how awesome He is. And also, He does that to bring us freedom so we don't have to be burdened by the weight of our memories. Because we all know our memory far outlives what is actually there. Whenever we are done and we're done with our old lifestyle, we're done with everything that used to be, our minds still remember it. And we still sometimes let our minds bring us down and burden us and say, oh, you're just not good enough. Remember that time this happened. Remember that time you did that and made that mistake. And so we ourselves burden, we put ourselves in put a yoke of that back on us. And the Bible tells us to stand firm in your freedom, because you don't have to go back carrying that burden of slavery, because what it is slavery, it's being enslaved to our past, enslaved to sin that we've already been forgiven for. How many times have we carried the burden of sin that God's forgotten about? We sometimes, I know, especially whenever I've done something and I just feel really bad for it, I'll ask God like time and time and time again, please forgive me, please forgive me. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that or gone there. And I think that sometimes God would tell us, what are you talking about? I forgave you for that the first time you asked me to. I'm not thinking about that, so why are you? Because so many times we let our minds pull us back, make us step back and relive our past, relive those mistakes over and over again, when God is telling us, stand firm in the freedom I've given you. You know, I wonder if sometimes we offend God by our doubt and our doubt of His grace, because by saying, you know what, God, forgive me. I know I have asked for forgiveness before, but forgive me because I just know I shouldn't have done that. What do you think that God is feeling when you say that? Is His grace not enough to cover all of our sins? It is enough. And He doesn't want us to live in slavery. He wants us to live in freedom from all of the things we've done. Even the things we're going to do, we are going to ask Him for forgiveness. Even mistakes we still haven't made yet. When we make those mistakes, God will forgive us just as quickly as we ask Him, just as quickly as He did when we asked forgiveness for the very first time. And He's going to want us to walk in that freedom, to live like we're free, not to live like people who are burdened and who have to have their joy taken away from them because of their past. But we can have joy. We can be excited, and we can know that God's grace is more than enough to forgive every one of our sins. And it's so great that we don't even have to think about it again, because God does it. God doesn't think about our past. He just thinks about it, and He is bringing us into the next step, and He's guiding us step by step. We don't have to live in our past. We can live in the future and expect great things, and we can be free. We don't have to live in slavery anymore. So that's my word of encouragement for you this week. As you're going back to school, I know that maybe this year we talked about on Monday to cause change in your life, cause change in other people's life. And maybe you're thinking, man, I really wanted to change that in my heart. I wanted to change that in my life, but how can I really change? I don't think I can. You can change because God's grace is enough to bring you through whatever it is. And so just rely on Him. And have a great week, and I'll see you later.